Let's get right into it. Number 10. The sleep debt delusion. You're a go-getter, a night owl, a productivity ninja who believes sleep is for the weak. You brag about burning the midnight oil, surviving on 5 hours of Z's, and chugging coffee like it's going out of style. You tell yourself you'll catch up on sleep over the weekend. Like it's some kind of magical credit system where you can just pay back your sleep debt with a Saturday morning lie-in. Spoiler alert. Your brain doesn't do layaway. This isn't a retail store. Sleep debt isn't a concept your brain understands. When you consistently deprive yourself of those precious 7 to 9 hours, you're not just tired, you're essentially operating on a low battery. All the time. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for executive functions like decision-making, problem-solving, and impulse control, takes a vacation. You become less creative, more irritable, and your memory starts playing hide and seek. It's like trying to run a marathon on a diet of pixie dust and good intentions. Your brain needs sleep for vital maintenance, clearing out metabolic waste products, amyloid beta, the stuff linked to Alzheimer's, consolidating memories, and literally repairing itself. Skipping sleep is like never changing the oil in your car but expecting it to run perfectly. Eventually, something's gonna seize up. And in your brain's case, it's usually your ability to form a coherent thought or remember where you left your keys. So, that healthy habit of pushing through, it's really just slow motion brain damage in a designer coffee cup. Number 9. The superfood scam. You've seen the headlines? This one fruit will make you a genius. Eat these berries to unlock psychic powers. Okay, maybe not psychic powers, but definitely claims of enhanced memory, sharper focus, and a brain so powerful it could probably solve world hunger. So, you meticulously stock your fridge with goji berries, ake bowls, spirulina smoothies, and whatever exotic, astronomically priced superfood is trending this week. You genuinely believe that by consuming these mystical ingredients, you're giving your brain the ultimate upgrade. And while a balanced diet is crucial for brain health, the obsession with isolated superfoods often leads to a skewed perspective and, frankly, a lot of wasted money. The problem isn't that these foods are bad, it's the expectation that they'll miraculously transform your cognitive abilities, often at the expense of a truly diverse and holistic diet. Your brain doesn't run on a single magic ingredient. It thrives on a symphony of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, healthy fats, all working in concert. Chugging a kale smoothie while simultaneously surviving on processed snacks for the rest of the day isn't a healthy habit. It's more like putting premium fuel in a car with a leaky engine. You're focusing on one shiny part while neglecting the entire system. Plus, the mental stress of trying to track down every obscure superfood and the guilt when you don't. That's definitely not good for your brain, which thrives on simplicity and consistency, not an expensive scavenger hunt. Number 8. The endless scroll addiction. You're a modern-day information sponge, constantly connected, perpetually scrolling through social media, news feeds, and endless streams of digital content. You tell yourself it's about staying informed, being connected, or even just unwinding. But what you're actually doing is subjecting your brain to a relentless, high-intensity information fire hose. Your prefrontal cortex, which is designed for deep work and focused attention, is constantly being yanked in a million different directions. Every notification, every new post, every viral video is a tiny dopamine hit, rewarding your brain for its scattered attention. This constant context switching trains your brain for superficial engagement, making it increasingly difficult to sustain focus on complex tasks. Read a book, or even hold a deep conversation without feeling the urge to check your phone. It's like trying to fill a bathtub with a teaspoon while the drain is wide open. You're consuming massive amounts of information, but very little of it is being deeply processed, analyzed, or committed to long-term memory. Your brain craves novelty and instant gratification, and social media delivers it in spades, but at the cost of your cognitive endurance and capacity for true understanding. So, that healthy habit of staying endlessly connected, It's really just turning your brain into a digital hummingbird, flitting from one shallow nectar source to another, never truly settling long enough to build anything substantial. Number 7. The over-optimized morning routine. You wake up before the sun, chug a glass of lemon water because toxins, meditate for precisely 12 minutes and 37 seconds, journal about your gratitude for artisanal coffee, then hit the gym for a high-intensity interval training session that leaves you barely able to walk. You've curated the perfect healthy morning routine, designed to optimize every nanosecond of your existence, all before most people have even hit snooze. The idea, of course, is to set yourself up for peak performance, mental clarity, and a general air of being superior to everyone else who just rolls out of bed. And while individual elements like exercise and mindfulness are undeniably good for your brain, the rigidity and intensity of the over-optimized routine can actually backfire spectacularly. Your brain, while appreciating structure, absolutely despises relentless pressure and the feeling of never being enough. When you jam-pack every morning with non-negotiable tasks, you're creating a constant undercurrent of stress. Did you miss a step? Did your meditation session feel less zen than yesterday? Did you hit your exact protein macro? This constant self-assessment and the pressure to perform even in your relaxation time can spike cortisol levels, the body's primary stress hormone. Chronic elevated cortisol is a well-known villain for brain health, shrinking the hippocampus, your memory center, and generally making you feel perpetually on edge. So, that perfectly manicured morning, it might just be an elaborate, self-imposed stress trap, turning your brain into a high-strung, over-caffeinated perfectionist. Number 6. The push through the pain mantra. You've heard it a million times. No pain, no gain. Push past your limits. Just one more rep. This mantra, while perhaps motivating in the gym, often leaks into every other aspect of your life, including how you treat your mental and cognitive well-being. Feeling mentally fatigued, stressed, overwhelmed. The healthy advice dictates you should just power through, buckle down, and grit your teeth. You tell yourself that ignoring the subtle whispers of burnout is a sign of strength, resilience, and an unwavering work ethic. The reality, your brain is screaming at you, and you're just putting your fingers in your ears. When your brain is showing signs of fatigue, difficulty focusing, irritability, making silly mistakes, or just feeling utterly drained, it's not a weakness, it's a warning signal. It's your brain's equivalent of the check engine light. Continuously overriding these signals and pushing through leads to chronic stress, cognitive impairment, and eventually, full-blown burnout. It's like trying to run a marathon with a broken leg. You might make it a few steps, but you'll do far more damage than good. Your brain needs recovery, rest, and periods of diffused thinking to process information, consolidate memories, and simply recharge. Ignoring those needs in the name of pushing through isn't healthy resilience. It's a direct route to mental exhaustion and diminished cognitive function. Number 5. The antisocial productivity hack. You're a master of efficiency, a lone wolf of productivity. You've cut out all unnecessary social interactions, skipped happy hours, declined casual coffee breaks, and turned down weekend get-togethers, all in the name of maximizing your output. You tell yourself that these social engagements are distractions, time wasters that pull you away from your important tasks, and that true productivity requires monastic solitude. The problem? Your brain is a social creature, whether you like it or not. We are, at our core, tribal animals, wired for connection and interaction. Depriving yourself of meaningful social contact isn't just lonely, it's actively detrimental to your brain health. Social interaction stimulates various parts of the brain, engages complex cognitive processes like empathy and communication, and provides crucial emotional support. Studies have repeatedly shown that social isolation is as bad for your health as smoking and obesity, and it's a significant risk factor for cognitive decline and even dementia. When you constantly isolate yourself for the sake of productivity, you're starving your brain of vital social nutrients. It's like trying to grow a plant in the dark. believing that the absence of sunlight will make it stronger. Your brain needs other brains to thrive, to spark new ideas, to regulate emotions, and to simply feel connected. So, that healthy habit of being a productivity hermit, it's slowly turning your brain into a socially awkward recluse, destined to forget how to make small talk. Number 4, the hydration hysteria. You've got your fancy insulated water bottle, your app that reminds you to chug, and a mild panic attack if you realize you haven't consumed precisely 8 glasses of H2O by noon. You're a hydration hero, convinced that every sip brings you closer to peak brain function, sharper focus, and a mind as clear as mountain spring water. And while staying adequately hydrated is absolutely essential for overall health, including your brain's, the obsessive pursuit of extreme hydration can sometimes veer into counterproductive territory. Your brain, composed of about 75% water, does indeed need consistent fluid intake to function optimally. Dehydration can lead to headaches, fatigue, and impaired cognitive performance, but the idea that more is always better, pushing yourself to drink beyond what your body naturally signals, can lead to its own set of problems. Overhydration, while rare in healthy individuals, can dilute electrolytes in your blood, leading to a condition called hyponatremia. This can cause brain swelling, headaches, confusion, and in severe cases, seizures or even a coma. It's like constantly pouring water into a potted plant that's already perfectly watered. Convinced it needs more? You're not helping it grow, you're just creating a muddy mess and potentially drowning the roots. So, while you definitely shouldn't be wandering around like a parched desert wanderer, turning hydration into an extreme sport might just be putting unnecessary stress on your kidneys and, ironically, throwing your brain's delicate balance out of whack. Listen to your body, not just the arbitrary numbers on a hydration app. Number 3, the brain training app obsession. You've downloaded every brain training app under the sun, meticulously dedicating hours to solving Sudoku, playing memory games, and tapping furiously at squares, all convinced you're building a bigger, better, faster brain. You believe these digital drills are the secret to preventing cognitive decline, boosting your IQ, and generally turning you into a certified genius. The marketing certainly tells you that, and while engaging your brain is crucial, the science behind these specific apps as a miraculous brain-boosting solution is, shall we say, a little flimsy. Numerous studies have shown that while you might get really good at that specific game, the cognitive benefits rarely transfer to real-world tasks. It's like practicing throwing darts blindfolded and expecting it to improve your archery skills. You might master the brain game, but your ability to remember where you parked your car or learn a new language doesn't magically improve. Your brain thrives on novelty, complexity, and real-world challenges. Learning a new skill, engaging in social interaction, picking up a musical instrument, or even just having a genuinely stimulating conversation, that's brain training. These activities engage multiple neural pathways and create new connections, mindlessly tapping on a screen, while perhaps entertaining, often only hones a very narrow skill set. So, while you're busy being a digital whiz at Memory Match Pro, your brain might actually be craving a real challenge, something more stimulating than just pushing pixels around. Number 2, the calorie counting neurosis. You're a meticulous tracker. Every morsel of food weighed, every calorie dutifully logged. You scrutinize nutrition labels, fear bad fats, and celebrate reaching your arbitrary daily calorie goal. You tell yourself this intense focus on numbers is the epitome of healthy eating, giving you ultimate control over your body and, by extension, your brain. And while being mindful of what you eat is certainly commendable, turning eating into an obsessive mathematical equation can actually be incredibly detrimental to your brain's well-being. Your brain needs consistent, diverse nutrition, not just a spreadsheet of numbers. The constant anxiety associated with calorie counting, the guilt over perceived failures, the stress of strict adherence, the mental energy expended on tracking every bite can trigger a chronic stress response. And as we know, Chronic stress is a well-documented enemy of brain health, impacting memory, focus, and emotional regulation. Furthermore, an overemphasis on low-fat or restrictive diets can inadvertently deprive your brain of crucial nutrients, particularly healthy fats like those found in avocados, nuts, and olive oil, which are absolutely vital for brain structure and function. Your brain isn't a calculator, it's a complex organ that thrives on a holistic approach to nutrition, not just hitting a numerical target. It's like trying to build a magnificent skyscraper by only focusing on the exact number of bricks, forgetting about the steel, the plumbing, and the actual architectural design. You might hit your brick count, but you won't have a functional building. Number 1. The obsession with clean eating orthorexia. You've banished anything with a recognizable ingredient list longer than 3 words. You meticulously scrutinize every food item for artificial anything. Gluten, dairy, sugar, and anything else that the internet has deemed unclean. You spend hours preparing elaborate, minimalist meals, convinced that by purging your diet of all perceived impurities, you're not just optimizing your physical health, but attaining peak brain clarity and spiritual enlightenment. This isn't just healthy eating, this is orthorexia nervosa, an unhealthy obsession with eating pure foods. While conscious eating is beneficial, when it becomes rigid, anxiety-inducing, and socially isolating, it transforms from a healthy habit into a full-blown mental health issue. Your brain, which thrives on flexibility and a healthy relationship with food, becomes enslaved by rules and restrictions. The constant worry about contaminants, the social awkwardness of refusing nearly every food offered outside your control, and the pervasive guilt when you slip up flood your system with stress hormones. This chronic stress doesn't just make you miserable, it actively harms your brain. It impairs memory, reduces neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to adapt and learn, and can even lead to depressive symptoms. Furthermore, severely restrictive diets, driven by the fear of unclean foods, can lead to actual nutrient deficiencies if not meticulously managed, depriving your brain of the very building blocks it needs to function. It's like trying to build a perfectly sterile spaceship in a vacuum-sealed bubble. But in your obsessive pursuit of purity, you forget to put in the fuel. Your brain doesn't need to be cleaned in this way, it needs to be nourished, balanced, and freed from the relentless tyranny of food rules. Sometimes, the healthiest thing for your brain is to simply enjoy a meal with friends, free from judgment and the crushing weight of culinary perfectionism. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.